Alright, welcome to another video, my first review of a piece of equipment, the Inkbird IBT-4XS Bluetooth Thermometer. I was in the market for one with both Bluetooth and multiple probes, and this was on my radar. After reading a very good review by SmokedBarbecueSource.com, I pulled the trigger. This retails on Amazon for $54.99, but also thanks to SmokedBarbecueSource.com, they had a 20% promo code, which basically makes this a decent competitor price-wise with other thermometers in its class. So we see the warranty card, the instructions, the two great clips, 4 probes, obviously the control units, and a USB charger, micro USB charger. And you of course have to download the app to access the Bluetooth capabilities and the connection to, or at least connecting it to the device was there was no, you basically just had to turn it on, click start, and the phone already detected. I didn't have to connect it to it via the Bluetooth on my phone. It was just automatic. So that was pretty cool. And so I can now see the degrees. And looks like I'm ready to use this thing. It's defaulted into Celsius, so this is you can also see that each temperature can be looked in the graph, I believe. We can also change the language if we need to, and then I'm going to switch this to Fahrenheit because I am in America. But turning it on was pretty basic. So we're going to look at a couple of things throughout this review. We're going to look at the accuracy of the temperature, the connectivity, range, functionality, and battery life. So to test the accuracy, rather than using the boiling water test, I'm just going to use my own body temperature and squeeze the probe in to see if it gets close to 98, or at least will be exactly 98. That'd be nice. I'm in the graphing display mode, and it's pretty cool to see that it's rising as it should, and you can kind of see it was staying at room temperature until I started squeezing it. And accurate enough for me that we could see that this temperature is exactly 97 degrees, which is good because I'm just using my fingers to squeeze it. One of the biggest issues that I've always avoided another Bluetooth thermometer is my iGrill Mini 2. To be fair, this is an older iGrill, but I rarely use it because of how hard it is to just connect to it. So every time I try to connect to this thing, I open the app. I actually bought this before Weber bought out the company, and to even turn it on and get it to connect to this device, it takes some finicking. So the button itself has always been really weird, and so I'm pressing it and it's gonna connect, and then it's going to disconnect right away. So the only way I figured out how to use this thing is to constantly keep clicking it until it stays connected. See, it just keeps getting disconnected over and over again, and so eventually when it turns green, see, it's the connection to this thermometer just isn't as seamless as it should be as other Bluetooth devices, and then it's gonna disconnect again, and we keep playing this game until it finally connects and it turns green and it's ready to go. Connecting the Inkbird, I didn't have much issues at all. It was basically, we turned it on and the app automatically detected both the probes that it's connected to. There was no finicking with any buttons. The on button itself is from the back. It's just an easy switch. And the other times that I used this thing, I never had any issues. It's just you turn it on and they're automatic connected. So what we're going to do is do a side-by-side comparison. I'm going to put both these probes next to each other, both these controllers next to each other outside, and see how my phone will stay connected to both of them. We see that the Inkbird says 77 degrees, the iGrill says 75 degrees. It's going to be placed outside that window right in front of it, and I'm going to start to walk away and see how the connectivity is for both of them. So they're sitting out there, and I would say that's about 20 feet, and I'm walking away, and I could see that the Inkbird is still connected, and let's see if the iGrill is still connected as well. But one of the issues I've had with the iGrill is that its connection is not as consistent as it should be, I would say. As I walk a little bit farther, I would say I'm now 30 feet here, and then it disconnects. But switching back to the Inkbird, we are still connected. So in this next part, we're going to see how far this actually stays connected. So one criticism to Bluetooth thermometers is that they don't have long-range connectivity and they might start to disconnect, but this really did not disconnect all throughout my entire house, as you could see as I go through it, and I even go as far as going all the way outside. It's still being connected. I would say I'm at least 300 feet away now, because I'm in front of the house. The thermometer is all the way in the backyard of my house, and finally, as I cross the street, it is now disconnected. It's behind the house, as you can see there, way beyond 300 feet. And as I walk closer, it automatically connects straight back. I never had that experience with my other Bluetooth thermometer, so that's pretty awesome. So this doesn't take any batteries of any kind. It charges like any electronic device using a mini USB cable. The battery life itself, I used it for about 6 hours on a cook, and it was down to 80%. So with a little math, that probably amounts to about 30 hours on a full battery life, which I think is pretty cool. Obviously, I need to use this in time to see how long the battery stays consistent for, but 30 hours on a full charge is nice. Also pretty cool on the app is you can actually monitor the battery life on the corner there, which is pretty awesome too. So the overall use of this thing is pretty seamless. It's not the most durable thing ever, and I wouldn't think about throwing it on the ground really hard, but it's durable enough to feel like that if you did drop it accidentally, it won't feel like it's damaged. And it's got a magnet behind it. That's the only thing it has to hold on to anything. The alarm itself is quite annoying, but on purpose, I suppose. Here's a little demonstration of what it sounds like on both the phone and the actual units. It will go off depending on what settings you could do. If it goes below temperature or meets the temperature you want, you could set the ranges on all three of these probes here. So, but I like that you can turn that off if you don't like, but the alarm is definitely quite alarming. Another cool thing too is, as I mentioned before, I do like the fact that you can look at your thermometers or your temperatures via a graph. The app itself is pretty simple to use, and you can also name the different things you are measuring, and you can preset those and save it and use it for next time. If you got a different setting for brisket, you could set the range there. If you have a temperature for a different cooker, you can save it and preset it and use it again. Another issue too is when you're looking at it on just the unit itself, this just blinks to all whatever probes you have connected to, rather than you being able to select which one you'd like to just display. That's what the app is for, I suppose, but I would like that to be able to select which one you want to look at. I also didn't like that the only way to attach it to anything was with the magnet included. I wish it had like a clip you can also attach to it as well, but certainly not a deal breaker. Still recommend. Before I leave you, if you're still not convinced on how much I'm recommending this thermometer, if you're looking for something with a better price points, here is smokesbarbecuesource.com. This was the only place I found a very good review by people that know barbecue on this product. This was the review that convinced me to purchase it, and I'm very happy with it. The thermometer itself did everything it needed to do, and did it very seamlessly, as I like to say. If the product itself doesn't annoy me in the first 5 minutes of using it, then it's a pretty good product, especially a Bluetooth product. I highly suggest checking out this review and the website itself. It's got a lot of great reviews of everything else you could find all about barbecue. And I did have discounts on the product I just bought and other discounts. So, as usual, thanks a lot for watching. RyanFriday signing out.